So Mantis, Valyria has a few days for you to do some whatever you want, really. Is there
Yeah.
any questions I can answer for you?
Uh, I'm going to roll a gather information. Is there a morgue? Can I buy dead bodies that aren't
Can you
undead
buy
or
dead
flesh
bodies?
warped? Yeah.
Go ahead and diplomacy.
Why do you want a dead body?
I want to disguise myself the necromantic way.
Hmm. I didn't know that was in character for Valeria. Okay. I mean, I know we're already doing it, but
It's not really, but if they're already dead,
I guess that's fair.
eh, she doesn't feel comfortable doing it, but she also doesn't feel comfortable, like, hey, just asking about it shouldn't get her frowned upon too bad.
No, that's a normal
What,
thing
you mean
around here.
asking like if you can find any dead bodies? Yeah, that's not that. That's not that like unusual. Necromancy is a thing that like plenty of, well, not plenty of, but like some draw practice.
I wasn't talking about in Drow society. I was talking
Right.
about from where I get my power from.
Oh, I know it. It's weird. I'll say that this is something that takes like a couple of days to kind of figure out. You can do other stuff during the course of these couple of days, but um, the information you get is that although there are a few places you could get dead bodies, you find from a source that you think is reputable that there's someone you've actually met already that can get you that.
Is that? Uh,
And they tell you to ask uh, discreetly at the diamond coffer for what you need, and that they assure you that they'll
Oh,
have it.
yeah. Oh, yeah, they'll have dead bodies, alright. Dead bloodless bodies.
Okie dokie. Um. So, how many days do I have? Pluto said that I had a week.
5.
5?
5 days.
Okay. Um. I think I have two. Let me open my Hero Lab. How many scries can I potentially do per day? Is scry a level 5 cleric spell? Or level 4? It's a level 5 cleric spell. I can do 2 per day. Um, so I am going to try to spy on Garak. Darak, what's his name?
What was that?
Who's the person we're trying to quote unquote assassinate?
You don't remember?
It's been a couple of weeks. I have his name written down. Gadak.
Yeah. AKA Chuds McGee.
I don't remember this nickname.
Is that what your in-person group called him?
Anyway, I want to scry on him like in the morning, and I want to scry on him.
Hello. Sorry about that.
Hi.
In the middle of the day, like, I don't know, when people would normally be doing business types things.
Okay.
What did I miss?
Nothing much. Mantis is getting caught up with what he did while we were doing our little escapade last week.
Looked like Safa kicked someone in the face.
No, I was just showing the new feature about the font changes.
Nice.
You scry on him during the middle of the day, and it looks like he's walking the streets of Zernikainen with whatchamacallit, a cart in tow,
Okay.
and it's covered. And it looks like he goes to the market, and by then the duration expires.
For the morning.
Of the same day.
Yeah, it was the same day. I said I was doing it once in the morning and once in the middle of the day.
In the morning, it looks like he's up. It looks like he's already been up for a while, and he's still within House Vinar. He's talking to someone. It looks like in the hall. And it from what you can hear, because I think scrying allows you to hear. It sounds like he's asking about shifts that day, but not to like. It doesn't seem like he's in like trying to gauge like. It sounds like he's trying to just gauge like where everybody is at any given time. And then he goes back to the servants' quarters.
Shift.
Okay, so there's day one. Day two, what do I want to do? It looked like he was going to the markets in Zernikainen. Did it look like he was going to Ovesia or like somewhere else?
It looked like Ovesia.
So at about the same time this day, as I saw him going to the markets the other day, I want to scry on him, and then I want to locate object his whatever clothes he is wearing when I scry on him.
Okay. So this is the same day as the first two?
No, this is the next day.
So you're doing it around the same time as yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. You try, and then you can feel the spell fizzles.
The scrying fizzles.
The scry.
Okay, let's try locate object anyway.
Okay. The clothes that you've seen him wear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're somewhere like around Ovesia, right?
Yeah, it'd be in where we're staying, which is in Ovesia, right?
And let's see, locate object has a range of 400 plus 40 per level, right?
Yeah. So nearly 800.
Okay. You cast locate object, and you know the spell's working, but you're not getting a distance. Do you wait at all?
I'm going to go out of my room in my ugly clothes and
Hmm.
go towards the markets out of my room.
Okay.
And I'll wait for the duration of the spell.
Okay. So like near the end of the spell, like after 6 or 7 minutes, you've like gone outside and you're getting closer to the markets. You start to feel like the direction like pulling your attention, and you know that he's like just he's walking just outside. He's approaching from just outside the limit of the spell.
Okay.
What do you do?
I'll sort of try to move towards it a little bit.
Are you trying to move towards it discreetly or indiscreetly?
Uh, like, I'm not trying to hide myself, but I'm trying to not, like, show off to the world that I'm following a magic source.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception.
Sure.
All right. So it looks like you do find him within short order, and he has another cart that looks to be about the same size as the one from yesterday, and he's wheeling it again into the market. Do you follow him?
Sure. I'll try to be a little bit more discreet about it this time. Try
Okay,
to
go ahead and give me a
blend
stealth.
in with the crowd or, like, follow him from a distance. Hey! He still might see me, but hey.
Okay. So you start following him, and the
Yep.
spell is still working, but it's going to be fizzling out soon.
Yep.
He turns a corner to go down an alley. Do you follow him?
Mhm.
If it's dark, don't do it.
It's always a trap.
Well, every alley is a dark alley in Zernicon.
Well, yeah, that's the
That's
point.
true.
That's Safa talking in Valeria's head right now.
And yeah, actually, and honestly, you almost probably want to avoid the brightly lit alleys because there's something off about those.
You might find light creatures there. Oh no.
If the alley is like empty when I turn into it, then I'm going to abandon following him anymore. Or if it's like only him, I'm gonna like look into it and then walk past.
Okay, so you follow him in, and I'm assuming you're keeping a distance between you and him.
Yeah, I want to see who he's talking to, like who he's doing business with.
Okay, you turn a corner into the alley after he walks in, and are you within like how close? Like 30 feet or 60 feet?
Let's say 60 to 100 feet. I know it's
60 to 100?
easier for
Okay.
me to like be broken off of, but
It's also safer, yeah.
maybe at the edge of my dark vision, so 60 feet.
Okay. You turn the corner then, uh, 60 feet away from him, walking, and you see him just long enough to see him. He has something in his hand. It looks like some kind of like. It looks like a wand, because I'm sure you know what a wand looks like. And then he vanishes.
Okay, I'm gonna turn around then.
And his cart is just standing there.
And go back to my room.
Okay. Your locate object is still working at that point, and you know that he only move. It seems like the sensor on what you call it, locating only moves a little bit, but it seems to stay within that area
Okay.
until the few rounds, the next few rounds go by, and then it ceases.
What? No, what? That's not mine. I'm talking about something I was telling Pluto about earlier.
What?
I was telling you about that dwarf I made.
Oh
The
yeah.
foe hammer.
Whoa.
Anyway,
Just fan.
so That was day 2. On day 3, did I learn about how to get dead bodies? Did that
Yeah,
take...
you've heard a few places you could find them, the but it seems the most reliable place to get them might be to inquire at the Diamond Coffer.
So at the Diamond Coffer, or at the beginning of day 3, I'm going to ask Araxi to prepare our disguise spell for me.
Okay. I think I had
Valeria is
ended up
nuts.
casting it around day 4 or something originally anyway. Like, except I had renewed our original disguises. Do you want it just prepared just for you or for everyone?
Yeah.
Yes, you want it prepared just for you or for everyone? Which one?
Just for me.
Okay, I can do that.
I love it when you ask closed-ended questions and they give you open-ended answers.
Okay, I'll do that then.
So I am going to go inquire at the Diamond Coffer sort of early in the day to what it would take to purchase one. Wearing my fancy clothes.
Oh.
Okay, but you look different than what you originally did.
Huh? No.
Oh, not yet.
I haven't purchased a dead body yet.
Oh, I wasn't sure if you had switched bodies. Okay, so you go and you inquire, and it's kind of a lengthy process. You know not to just ask flat out, "Can I buy a dead body?"
Yeah.
There's some finesse to it.
Right.
But eventually, someone asks you they have you do a couple of things like, like sit here, order this, and then wait for, uh, the signal or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the servers there, let's see, a succubi that's very noticeably a succubi. Plus, I'm pretty sure you have enough knowledge planes to get it without like failure.
My knowledges aren't great, but it's an 8 mod.
Oh, well, it's a demon, but it looks like a almost
A sexy
human, like
demon?
a humanoid. Well, sexy is subject, but
Like it's trying
she
to be
is
sexy?
she is scantily clad,
There you go.
demure, but also has the horns, the wings, and the spaded tail.
Mm-hmm.
But she asks for you to come right this way.
We'll follow her.
Okay, she brings you into a parlor within the Diamond Coffer, where the red, like crimson motif is very strong.
Mm.
And another drow walks in, not the host that you know, but just another drow that's dressed finely. And they start to talk to you about acquiring fine cadavers.
Yes, unmaimed.
They ask if you want it fresh.
No.
They have a
Well,
they have a small selection of fresh cadavers, and unmaimed is going to cost you a lot.
Are there any on ice?
Of course. We keep a number of them magically preserved, but the fresh ones we do preserve with cold.
Uh, one of the magically preserved unnamed ones.
They ask if you want a male or female body.
Female.
Okay. Any particular look that you want, we may have, on the off.
Uh, whatever you think would best suit me.
They look at you
For
and they
my
say,
needs.
well, it's hard to know what your needs are. Usually we don't ask these sorts of things. Common business courtesy.
Take a gander.
Give him the ugliest hoe you can find. So everywhere he goes, people are like, damn, you're ugly.
The person talking to you kind of like scrunches their face a little bit. They're not like totally open faced. They have like a bit of a mask on, like the cloth kind, or it's mostly just their eye. But you can see the furrowing of their brow, and in a sarcastic tone, they say, "We do have some very good-looking ones for the prospective necrophile, if that's what you mean."
Sure.
Give me a bluff. The person you're talking to looks genuinely like taken aback and surprised, but shrugs their shoulders. Fine. And they tell you that up front it'll be 500 gold pieces.
Woo!
Oakley dokley.
This is an expensive trip for Valeria.
Yep. I'm going to try to bargain that price down to 400, or start with 300, but my goal is 400. Am I able to haggle that?
Not in the way you may want. It seems like they don't want to budge on their price, but he offers you an alternative that if if a client or a customer cannot pay for their luxuries that we offer here at the Diamond Coffer, there's always an alternative. Our
Nope.
host, he says that their host is always willing to negotiate for a what would be the word? For like a generous donation of blood.
Nope. I'll present them the money when I see the body.
They bring it to you after a while, and they reveal it, and it looks to be a comely drow female.
And I guess I'll bag it and I'll take it back to my hotel.
They ask if you need a bag.
Yep.
Okay. Then they'll do the business with you, and you have a freshly preserved, uh, kind of cold, dead female drow body.
This is unpleasant, but it's for safety. Valeria gets to roleplay in a role-playing game. She's playing the role of an assassin. She needs another face. And then I'll have Araxi, change out my skin.
Okay. Casting. What was the name of that spell again? It was like lesser. I don't remember the name of it, but I've written down somewhere.
I remember what it is. I'm just seeing if you do.
Yeah, I'm flipping through a bunch of paper to see if I have it written down somewhere.
Starts with an R.
I'm not seeing it.
It's called Recorporeal Incarnation.
That's right.
So what do you do?
Well, I cast that for Valeria. Um, I think this might be on the day that like I said, that I was casting it for everyone else anyway. So, like to refresh theirs.
Okay, that works.
So I probably would just done Valeria's then with like the new body instead.
Okay. What do you guys do then?
Well,
In
we continue. The three of us would have continued with setting up the Cyclic Sublime's Blood Bowl thing we were doing.
and Valeria would want to gather information about Gadok in Ovesia, near where I saw him vanish. In my ugly clothes, in my new body.
Okay.
Who does he deal with? What does he deal in? Those sorts of things. Where does he frequent?
Okay. Um, the information is still difficult to get, but you do get some stuff.
Okay.
It seems like most people either really don't know them, or might be like unwilling to talk about.
Right.
But you get the information that like he usually like buys and trades foods, like foodstuffs, mostly like nice food and wines and stuff like that. Drink.
Okay.
But he also seems to be like not buying or selling, but more like being an intermediary for things like certain magical supplies, reagents and such, but also like um, things like magical tools, I guess you would say.
Like a wand.
Kind of like a one.
Do I get like there's any place that he frequents on a daily basis?
His favorite perk spot.
Daily, um, some food stalls, and yeah, mainly some food stalls.
Okay. I think that's all of the information I need for how I plan to go about this.
Oh, good, you have a plan, because I don't. Unless it involves the blood bout, then I wouldn't mind going back and doing some more of that. That was fun.
Or if it involves physical violence versus somebody.
Sure. Versus somebody. I like that word right there.
Not something.
Right.
Would you consider what you fought a somebody or a something?
It's a somebody. It may not have a mind, but it's a body.
It did.
Well, it
They
didn't have
weren't
a
they weren't
great
mindless.
mind.
They didn't have much of a
Matt,
personality, but they were
That's
intelligent.
I'm not uh well enough versed with Shalene, and I think this is on the edge of being frown-worthy. Um,
What are you gonna do?
do you think that instead of actually assassinating somebody, disappearing them to a different plane of existence where they don't want to be, uh, that is a good plane of existence for an evil sort of character would be frowned upon by my deity?
Hmm.
I can't answer that one.
It's kind of like it's kind of like it is kind of like a gray area for Shaylin because she's not she's known for like having picked up the domain of like or not the domain but like the um I guess like the area of concern is what it would be of love, but what you're doing doesn't really have anything to do with love. It'd be more like I guess kindness, but she's not a she sounds like she would be, but she's not actually a goddess of like kindness or general goodwill.
Right.
She cares more about intimate, romantic like relationship.
I think even platonic love.
Yeah, platonic love uh would also be part of it.
The bottom line
So
is, I don't
like
want to kill this guy, but I told somebody that I was, so I need to make him disappear for a while.
So, like, what you're doing, I think you would still realize that it's not a nice thing to do, and not necessarily a good thing. It could, it could harm him, so it would probably, be like a demerit on you, but you wouldn't lose your class.
Okay.
It'd be like a step towards an alignment shift, but not uh, a complete shift in alignment. You'd be getting closer to like, what are you right now? Neutral good?
I'm chaotic good.
Are you chaotic good?
Yeah.
It would be like a step. It'd be like taking a step closer to chaotic neutral.
And that would lose me my cleric abilities.
Not immediately, is what I'm saying. Is that
Right.
it doesn't violate any of Shaylin's tenets, so it doesn't count as automatic loss. But you'd still be chaotic good. But what I'm saying is like, think of it like a plus or minus system. You'd be going down to like chaotic good minus, so like another like significant thing would probably knock you down.
Okay. Um. However, if I were able to convince him that he needed to disappear for his own benefit for a while, and I could take him someplace where he would be very, very hidden.
I mean, that would still be within good. But remember, like, you're knowingly taking him to a place that he likely wouldn't be familiar with, so without any effort to, you know, help him from then on, it would still kind of be a little iffy.
No, 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 that's what I'm saying. Like, if I convince him and tell him, like, where I'm sending him and what I'm doing, and, like, how to deal with it.
That's more in line of chaotic good.
Okay. So the second plan where I'm telling him he's in danger, and I'm telling him where I'm trying to let him take him. Is the plan that I am going to tell the party.
Okay. Then you guys should consider that and talk about it for a little bit.
Well, um, I mean, okay. And then plan B. What if he doesn't like that idea?
Then I try to force him.
Hmm. Have we ever considered just
But I
hearing
want
him out?
to.
What, Joy? Take him up on his offer to recruit us into House Fanark?
Yeah, like listen to his side of this because, like, what if she's the hoe? I mean, she kind of is a hoe.
She definitely is.
Keep in mind, of course, that
You should see the description that it gives her, like, in the book that I have to, like, serve, like, as an interpretation to you guys.
You're doing pretty good, I think.
It's
I don't
probably
know
like
what
a
it says, but
3-word thing.
it just gives her name and then gives like 3 adjectives.
It's just funny.
I mean, the thing that you got to keep in mind is, I mean, taking up Gadok on his offer would normally have been a good starting spot, but it's going to be awkward if we take it up now because of the fact that,
Well, not take up his offer, but like listen to him. It's like,
well,
why does she want
yeah, I
him
mean,
dead other than she just doesn't like him? Like, why? I mean, I don't know. Sure, it's gonna
You need to
position her
spend like
higher,
fifteen
but
hundred more gold pieces so that you can just redisguise yourself and like reset back to like
reset,
beginning
start
of
over.
book.
just pretend we're like, I mean, we all just got 500 gold, so, I
No,
mean,
no, 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 no. I need that
Valyria
money.
didn't, but I mean, yeah.
Um. Okay, well, I mean, you talk to him, you
What are your guys' thoughts?
negotiate, and if you don't like it, I guess we'll have to use force. Well, I'll tell you something, Valeria. I've been places, and when you don't know where you are, it kind of sucks to try to survive there. So I don't know where you're gonna send him, but you gotta keep in mind that he's gonna have to survive while he's there.
I mean, he is a traveling merchant. I guess the question really is if your plan is just to get him um out of Zernikainen, then you got to keep in mind that sets a time limit basically before we're found out. Because at some point, there's a very good chance he'll come back. And I don't really know how long it's going to
Right.
take us to get what we need.
Right. Can you, like, anchor lock him for a duration? Now that's getting mean. Okay, I don't mind being mean, but for Valyria.
But if he goes along with wanting to be safe, right,
Yeah, but he's gonna ask you, like,
then,
why do you know this? How do you know this? Why do I need to be safe? And then what if he, like, disappears? What if he just, like, teleports right in front of you and it's like, oh my god! And freaks out and then we lose him.
well, this is why you're with me. You're there to
You're the
grapple him
muscle.
if he starts doing something funny.
I'll just stand next to him uncomfortably the whole time.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay. I can do that. It's a plan.
You want me to reset your body back to the other one you had, the original one, or are you keeping that one?
Uh, let's go back to the original one.
Okay. I'd be able to do that. I think even on the day of the that we did the blood bowl, I still had, or whatever, blood bout, I still had one level 4 spell slot left open.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you go from here?
Okay, Valeria, I'm okay with your plan as long as it all goes well. And if it doesn't go well, then hopefully it goes well with us handling it not going well. And then if that doesn't go well, I don't know.
Well,
We'll try Valyria's way to begin with, just because if it works out, then nothing's lost,
Right.
in theory at least. And if that doesn't seem like it's gonna work, we're gonna do it a different way, and Valeria's just gonna have to deal with it.
But Valeria, do you see if you can get some information as to like why this is even necessary, other than for us to get into the house. And now that we're gonna be telling him, he's gonna probably be like, "I want you to kill her," and I don't know, whatever. Can we just kill them both? No.
No. I'll be able to convince her by the time that he comes back that he's not worth killing.
Okay. Okay. Let's go.
It'll be fine.
Mm.
Everything with this plan is going to be fine.
So I'm being told.
Uh-huh.
Alright, let's do it.
Derek, do you have anything to offer?
Not really, no.
Okay, so which day are you doing this? Because remember, the day that they fought is on the 5th day.
So on the day
We
that
should
they
do the next
fight,
day. 'Cause we use
I'm going
resources.
to sending him and tell him that I have something important that I need to talk to him about. That we're the ones who he brought down from the whatever that gate was into Zernikainen that defeated the Black Pudding. And
Okay,
that he
I
should
guess
meet
can you
me.
It's 25 words.
go ahead and type out the
Yeah.
25 words for me?
Yeah,
Exactly how
I'll
you
do
want
that.
him to receive them. Because remember, this sending doesn't convey anything but the word for word message. It's like a text. It doesn't convey feeling or uh, like any
Does it let
influence
you
really
know
about
who
them.
it's from? I don't think it does.
It does.
Yeah, it
Oh, it
does.
does?
Because
If
he
you
can.
know the person, then you recognize it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because if he wants
Then I
to.
don't need to explain who I am.
Probably not, no.
No, because he knows your voice.
But if you're Asha, you probably would have been like, "I'm Asha!" Yeah, I don't know. At least I feel like Asha would have announced herself no matter what. Oh man, I do. Okay.
Is there any, like, landmark and an alley near a landmark in Obesia that I can tell him where to meet?
There's like a big noticeable statue, but it's kind
Okay.
of out in the open.
There's probably an alley near it.
There's plenty of...
Is there one due east of it?
Of course. There's multiple...
Uh, I'll tell him to meet us there.
Okay, so I mean, I guess like what is it that you're telling him, like word for word?
I'm doing it. Give me a second.
No, no.
Because I mean, how you phrase this is important.
Oh, goody.
I'm just saying because you know a little bit about this character.
Yeah, we too.
So you gotta put yourself in that character's shoes. And I think there's one thing that you haven't quite picked up on yet either about Drow society.
What, that cheating is totally legit?
Nope.
Only if you don't get
Oh.
caught.
Well, I mean, even if you get caught, they're probably just gonna be like, yeah, that's what drow do.
No, they look for excuses to torture each other. Remember?
Well, yes, but hopefully your house fights for you or something. I don't know.
If they don't turn you away like they don't have any knowledge of you, I don't know. Drow are sadistic.
I don't know what the statue's name is, but that's 25 words exactly.
Okay. Okay. You send the spell, or you send the message, and you know it worked, but you don't get a reply.
Eh. Should we just go and see if he shows up?
Probably.
So yep. What do you do? So you send this the day of the blood bout, or the day after?
The Nine of the Bloodbout.
Okay. So I assume you're. I know you didn't include it, but I assume you're gonna wait until the same time you send it to go to the alley if you're that's where your intentions are. Okay. You do that. All of you are going.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't see why not.
Okay, you guys go to the alley of the market. You guys can give me perception check.
Oh wait, it's been so long since I've hit the bouton. I gotta find it again.
Why are you not open? Open.
And around the time that I sent it last night, I'm going to locate object him, or the clothes that he normally wears.
Oh, I rolled the lowest.
Let's see. I'll have non-detection up during this time too, like when we're, for myself at least, when we're there. Has a 50 gold piece material component, so I have like a robe that lets me get that for free once a day. So I don't keep it up all the time, but I usually cast it at least once a
So
day.
Valeria, what are you locating object on? Like what
The
part of his
clothes he
clothes, I
normally
get?
wears.
Just like his clothes, like a tunic or something?
His shoes.
You know the spell worked, but you don't sense it within range.
Okay.
You guys get there.
Okay.
And you go like deep into the alley where there's not like any traffic or much traffic, and you don't see anything.
So
What
let's
do you guys do?
see. I
Or wait
might
for a
try.
while.
I might try scrying
How
on
long do you
him,
wait?
but
For the duration, what is it, 9 minutes? At least.
Okay. Does anybody else do anything?
I'll just keep my eyes peeled.
Yeah, I'm with her.
Okay. Pluto, did you say you were doing something?
well, I was thinking about casting scrying, but it takes an hour to cast it, so I'm not going to do it unless we're committed to being here for like an hour.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you guys don't see anything for a few minutes. After what seems like 5, you hear somebody walking down from where you guys walk, and it's him.
Okay.
But he's not wearing his shoes.
No, it looks like he's wearing a different outfit.
I see.
Completely different outfit. That's what I figured might be the case.
And he walks down the alley with a smile towards you. And he says, maybe a little oddly cheerfully, uh, "So, what's this important thing you have to told me? I'm glad to see you again, but I hope you're not trying to hope you're not trying to ambush me."
No, I'm so glad you're in good health.
Safa stands next to him.
Safa like walks up and just awkwardly tries to stand next to him.
Yeah.
I did as you suggested, and I went to a play at the Cyclic Sublime. And I happened to stumble upon somebody else in your house, and they talked so poorly about you. I was so worried that they might do something to you.
I think I
He
see where this might be
smiles
going.
back and he kind of says with a light chuckle and a bit dismissively like, "Oh, you don't have to tell me about about people I should be careful of."
I really do think they mean to have you killed. That's what it sounded like they were talking about.
You know what?
He
I'm gonna
smiles
sense
and
motive.
shrugs.
Is there any fishy about him? Like, is this the guy or
Well, yeah, I
what?
was gonna say, I want to just have one just so if he tries to, I want to have one just so he doesn't get a surprise round. Basically, this is what I'm rolling mine for. I'm trying to sense if if it seems like he's about to try something.
Holy crap.
I
I
seem
have
to
a
remember
plus
sense
one.
motive not working really well on him before though, so I mean it probably still won't. But you know.
Okay. Well, trying to read his body language, it is kind of tough, but I don't know, it just seems like he's not really fazed by what you say. Not that he's like bold or something or whatever, just that like maybe he he's not surprised by what you're saying. And he says back, "Well, um, what do you want? What do you want to tell me then about this?" He says, "This isn't
Well,
really news to me."
I want to make sure that you get somewhere safe. I want to make sure that I have enough time to convince who wants to kill you that you're not really uh, anything to be worried about. And that you're really quite a nice fellow. I know you are.
I'm not sure if nice fellow is a compliment to these people.
Cunning fellow. Excellent trader. Valuable. I don't know, something.
He says, "What do you mean not safe? I'm as safe as I can be. I know this city and my house like the back of my hand."
So you know who wants to kill you, huh? And no, I don't actually say that.
He probably does.
Everyone.
Well, not everyone, but there's probably several people.
It's more anyone that has to go through him to get to the top.
By the way, Derek,
Which
your
is
fan's
like
killing me.
nobody, because he's a servant as far as we know. Unless he's secretly like third in line but pretends to be
How's that?
Gadak.
That's much better, thank you.
You're welcome. We got a new fan that's a lot more powerful than the last one.
Ah.
But
It
he
was only
kind
like
of balks at your
$7 of goodwill.
offer, Valyria, saying that he is safe as he.
Valyria will turn a little bit more stern. And she'll say, Look. We need to have you disappear. Out of your house, away from Zernikainen.
He says, "Oh, a servant, a loyal servant like me could possibly leave his house for any extended period of time."
What do you want from us to make it worth your while?
Worth my while? Well, I mean, just knowing there are people like you who care about me is quite worth my while.
To disappear
But
yourself from Zernikainen.
you are a curious few. You never did tell me where you came from. Would you be interested in telling me now? Secret, are you asking that? Are you saying?
No, I'm sending vibes to Valyria. I don't want to speak, but these are questions I would like to know. Because I'm a specifics kind of person. But I'm not playing charisma moment, at least. I'm not talking right now.
Okay. Well,
Where do I come from? Do you mean my ancestry? The place that I'm taking you.
He says, just curious to know more about you. Where you come from. Your home. If I'm accepting help from someone or making a deal, I'd like to know more about who I'm dealing with.
Uh, Can
And I
I
mean,
make a
he
wisdom
kind
roll?
of poses that question to, like, everyone, really. Like, he doesn't look at Valyria specifically, and he doesn't look at any of you in particular, but he does just kind of, like, look around.
Oh, I don't have the spell on
What were
me
you saying?
today, so I have no idea what's being said.
I actually have it cast. I have Share Languages cast with you.
Oh, today? Okay.
It's something that I've been casting every day, yeah.
What did you want to do?
I think I'm about to do something unwise, and I want to know if my character thinks that this is something that would be absurdly stupid to do. I think it might be absurdly stupid to do.
Why is the Game Master
Uh,
asking?
It probably is.
It probably is. Does Valyria think that it would be an absurdly stupid thing to reveal her true identity to this person? To try to convince him
Yes,
to
yes,
cooperate
yes,
with her?
yes, yes.
Why are you
Bad
asking?
idea. Bad idea.
I'm asking
It's
if my
Arch Harp.
character thinks this.
You know your
Well, it's your
character.
character.
You should be able to answer that.
You
There
probably
are
know your
some
character
things
best.
that my character might know that I don't. And I don't
Yeah.
have a 22 wisdom.
Well, I think the appropriate question might. Well, I don't know what the appropriate question is, but I think the question's worded weird, perhaps.
Hmm.
Hmm. It's kind of a hard question to answer because I feel like this is going to heavily influence your decision.
I think that's what he's looking for, though.
Because, I mean, your character would know that revealing her identity could have consequences. The only thing I can give you is that it could have very serious consequences, like either way. Because I feel like you and the character are a little bit desperate in this situation. So, I mean, do you want to lay all your cards down on the table? It will change some things, maybe for the better, maybe for the worse.
I have a hard time
Uh,
thinking of what the positives are, personally, though.
And remember, think about who you're talking to and what he's said.
I still think something's not right with this guy, and he's not like part of the
I think
house.
he
He's a
already
servant.
knows. Okay, so I think that he already knows that we're not from here.
Yeah, probably. He might also know that you've been locating his clothes, hence the change of clothes.
It is one of the
Maybe.
strangest things I've ever heard. He might also know you've been looking at his clothes.
Well, she has been.
Right, but that doesn't
I'm
make
gonna
it
go
any
ahead
less
and do it
strange.
against the advice of all of my fellow PCs.
No, we were busy organizing a blood bout while you were doing this. We have no idea what you're doing.
Well, then I'm just gonna eat this bomb because it's
I'm
probably
from
better
the
than what they're gonna do
surface.
to me.
From the surface. Right.
GG guys, it was fun playing.
I mean, worst case, we just go get new bodies. It's all good. I mean, not. It still
You mean
changed
new
a lot, though.
characters after we've all died?
No,
Because
Satha
in theory, the fact that they
is
even
gonna
know that
die.
if they know you have this ability, then they're like a lot more paranoid. Perhaps makes things harder, but then again, that could be a good
GG.
thing. Maybe they're randomly like super paranoid and create their own problems just from being too paranoid.
Alright, so, what do you do?
Haha.
I said I'm from the surface. I told him that.
Oh, okay.
My character just flat out face palms.
Araxi
is-
almost wants to be like, well, I'm not, but she's like, no, I'll
He
just.
says, oh, I know
You're
that.
kind of
Technically, that's
not.
true.
I know
You're
that.
from the
That's
ocean
where,
depths.
that's where I I met you just after you had come from there.
No. Really. I'm from the surface.
I honestly consider
He
shoving a bomb
chuckles
down her mouth.
and says, oh, well, some some people are possessed of very strange tastes in where they want to live, but I won't judge.
He's giving you an out! Take it!
He's just a
God
servant.
damn it!
He doesn't know shit.
Well, it's the fact that he's just a servant means that if he found out, he would start telling the people he served.
No, what I want to really know is who is he a servant to, and whose feathers are we gonna ruffle if we dispose of him? And
Put a
You know
bomb in
what?
his mouth?
Safa's gonna ask that. Safa's gonna ask, are you a servant to anybody specific within your house?
Okay. Valeria, with that sense motive, it sounds like. Oh wow, he actually rolled low. It sounds like he's not telling. His words are not belying what he really feels or what you think he really thinks. Is that the way he's saying, oh sure, like I can understand that, or like, hey, some people choose to live that way, is it's well worded, but maybe he said it a little crassly in his case, but you think that he doesn't mean it. He doesn't mean what it sounds like. That he's hiding what he really thinks.
And what
And
I was
Safa,
actually looking for was if I thought he was at all startled.
no.
No, okay.
I'm gonna
But
whisper to
Safa, he tells
Araxi.
you that he says, why the noble family Vinark, of course. Their noble sons and daughters. They are, of course, my the ones that I serve.
All of them? Or specific ones?
He says, well, of course, if any one of them needs something of me, then they need only say. But yes, any of them.
Safa's body language probably changes, and the party probably knows her well enough to recognize that she probably doesn't care anymore about this guy. Do what you want.
Rex is just gonna ignore Nataka's request because where she's from, it's rude to openly cast detect magic right in someone's face.
Unless you have a quicken to detect magic, then they won't know.
Yeah. Or if you just have detect magic permanency on yourself.
Oh, is that like
I can start doing that next
arcane
level if I want.
sight or whatever?
Well,
Wait,
you can do it with detect magic as well.
permanency it? Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it's not quite as good as permanency on arcane sight, but I mean, it's
But you know what
because
that
you still
means,
have to do like
though?
the
You're gonna
concentration.
see, like, magic tracers everywhere, because, like, auras linger, so you're gonna see, like, these
Yeah.
tracers of magic
Yeah.
everywhere.
Well, you
Okay.
still have to
So,
concentrate to use it, though. You just don't have to
what do
cast
you
it.
guys do?
Oh.
I'm going to, now that I've told you where I'm from, what will it take to get you to disappear from here? I can get you someplace safe.
Well, you may have told me where you're from, but what do you want? You seem to be interested in my fair house. And you know that I must always keep um the best interest of my house in mind, uh no matter what kind of business I partake
They probably die. To answer that question, Derek.
All I want from your house is some information.
Oh, that's a popular commodity. What kind?
Well, someone who knows the value of information would know that we can't just tell you that.
This was for my previous sentence.
Yeah.
Ah, well said,
Correct.
he says to you. I can see you are not a fool. What are
Raxi probably like
you
rolls her eyes.
diplomacy, Valeria?
He asked what I wanted, and I said information from his house and nothing else.
No, and he says, well, after he says what he said, and you talk to Rexy briefly, he says, well, it would make it difficult for me then to see if I could help you with this if I don't know what you're looking to, to trade with my house for. So rather than, deprive them of me, even though I'm sure they wouldn't, even though, I'm just a simple servant, I would have to decline your offer.
Okay, I guess Raxi will look towards Valyria to see if Valyria wants to continue this.
You
Yeah, you
leave
can.
me little choice.
Do you do something or do you say something else?
I am going to nod to Safa to hold him.
Okay, I grapple him.
Or at least
Okay,
attempt to.
give me a same.
Shoot. I wasn't prepared for that. I don't have all those bonuses right now.
I was half expecting us to have to roll initiative first.
Well, this is the surprise.
Oh, I guess if
round.
you're catching him. Right. This guy seems like he's like really good at stuff like sense motive though, so I figured he would, like the nod for example, would all of a sudden make me be like, oh shit, you know.
And before he's an illusion and we're fucked.
I wasn't here all along, that was just a major image.
It's possible.
No, it's just a simulacrum.
Oh god. Not those.
Okay, you grapple, and he gasps, and he squirms, and he starts to his tone gets a little higher, and he begins to plead, like, no, please, you don't have to do this. There must be something else that I can do for you.
Didn't we try to give him an offer?
Yeah, and he refused.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
well he doesn't, he wants to do something, but he doesn't want to like leave Zernikainen for some reason.
And I'm going to tell him where I am sending him. And I'm
Oh, that's
going to
weird.
give him directions to get to a place where he'll be safe there, where I've been before. I am sending him to Nirvana.
Poor
And that
guy.
he should not come back here for a while.
Okay.
And I will.
Maybe he'll come back as a chaotic good person.
He might.
Does that have spell resistance?
And I'm going to tell him to lower his spell resistance. Otherwise, we're going to have to be more rough. Actually, this should probably be an Intimidate. You can take that roll, it's an 11.
He eeps and he shakes his head feebly. He says, "I mustn't. Really? Is there nothing else that I can do to convince you otherwise?
Why not?
It would be best if you just tell it would be best if you just tell me like what it is that you want."
Can I cast the spell and have it held like a touch spell?
Does it say instant, or what does it say?
Was it
What spell are you
Says
trying to
delivered
use?
through
Plane
touch?
shift?
Plane shift.
Uh, plane shift is a touch spell. So yeah, you can hold charge.
So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get close to touching his person. And I'll say, what else would you have me do?
So Valeria, you try to cast the spell, but you don't because you realize something. You don't have your divine focus.
Yeah, I do.
Nope.
No, he stole it.
Yes, I do.
Actually, it's a tattoo or a birthmark, isn't it?
Correct.
And I guess we were been ruling that that was still working even though you were in a different body. I do remember that discussion happening.
Do you have a component pouch?
I did. Is that missing?
Then you're missing that.
Although this doesn't have a component that it needs.
It has a
Plane shift just
focus,
needs.
not
It
a
just needs
divine
a. Oh, it
focus.
does need a focus. That's right. So maybe you can't find the. You couldn't find the forked metal rod or whatever.
You're missing the little pouch that your miscellaneous like things are for your spell.
Yeah. Oh, god damn it.
And we are going to start rounds with this roll. Does that beat your CMD, Sop?
Uh, yeah.
Okay, roll initiative.
Fudge.
Where's the initiative? The initiative button.
Are we gonna be on a map?
It's a Bhutan.
Probably not.
Oh, nat 20, baby.
Not in this case.
Okay, then I'll zoom in.
But I will go grab his token.
Oh shit. I'm not too happy about that, apparently. Oh, good. Wait, my health should be full.
I think I'm just missing I need to put Araxi on.
Oh, I didn't select my token, I think.
Oh,
I did roll. I did
yay!
click the bouton, but I forgot to select my token, I think. Or no, maybe I didn't click the bouton. I don't. No, there it is. I did do it. Yeah, you got it. You fixed it for me.
Oh, he's at the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. Nataka, you guys all see him wiggle out of Safa's grasp, and he's next to her. Nataka, what do you do?
Let's see here. Not a whole lot I can do. I mean,
You
I
don't
could
have like.
kill him, but um, well, let's see. Um, gonna use something that you guys have never seen before.
Fascinating. Oh
I'm gonna
man.
try and grab him.
Does he have like a tentacle from
Yep.
where exact?
Uh,
Where is this?
on my shoulders, like behind my
Oh,
shoulders,
okay.
just like came out from behind my head. No one knew it was there. Just suddenly,
Like
whack!
hidden underneath your clothes. Just a tentacle
Yeah,
sprouts out. Alright.
Okay, so you'll have to move up a little bit, and then the attack
right.
happens. The 13 is against his flat-footed because you're moving before him. Actually, no,
Right.
he's not flat-footed. It misses.
He's not flat-footed. I moved before him.
No.
No.
Right,
We
he's not
had
flat-footed.
I
we had
started
like surprise round
combat.
effectively.
It's all
Right, we
over.
effectively
Yeah.
already had a surprise round and he already acted because he
Well, he's
used
not
escape
flat-footed for
artist.
another
Oh,
reason.
okay. Makes sense.
Oh. For
He's a
other reasons too.
rogue of high
Or
enough level,
something.
probably.
Or he's a barbarian.
Or he's a
Barbarians get uncanny
barbarian.
dodge. He might be a barbarian. We can't make assumptions here.
He looks like he dodges the attack, like he still has his
Yeah,
dex
so he let me
to
grapple him before. Yeah.
Valyria.
Maybe not.
No, he did because I got the same number.
No, he attacked him.
No, the actual attack misses because he was using a grab, not a grapple like you did. So he has to hit attack with damage first, and then do the CMB.
Oh, gotcha.
So that 13 missed.
I'm going to hold person him, and I need to roll some stuff before he makes the save.
Good idea.
DC 18. We'll save.
It's a really good caster level check.
Remember, Valyria, you're missing your component pouch.
Old person doesn't have one though.
Doesn't matter.
I know this because I had a cleric in Ron's game where we had my divine focus and my material component pouch taken, so I had to be familiar with what spells I could actually cast. And that
This is
one
verbal,
of them.
somatic, and divine focus.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So it says F/DF. So I think it's either.
Yeah, it's only needs a material if the arcane version does. The divine one just needs your focus.
What's the DC?
18.
Okay, it looks like he fails. Safa.
Uh, okay.
Oh, he's paralyzed. You could draw him. I don't know if that's what we want to do, but you could.
To put a bomb in his mouth?
That would be a coup de grace.
Oh my god.
Bombs can crit, right? So
Yeah, they're times 2, so 5d6 plus 7 times 2.
yeah,
I'm going to swift
Jeff?
action activate a feat. And I'm going to activate Vital Strike. And then I'm going to declare a knockout, and I'm going to try to knock this fucker out.
Okay.
so he'll be paralyzed. Isn't he already? Well, no, I guess he's just paralyzed. He'll be paralyzed and
He'd
unconscious.
be
then.
unconscious.
Okie dokie.
Which actually would be really tough because I think both getting rid of the
Well,
the
do
whole
I
person
know he's
and getting
paralyzed? Because I can't spellcraft. I don't know what she did.
I guess all you do is you see him seize up.
yeah, you'd see him tense up. No, but doing that's fine because getting rid of
Well-
either one of those is both full round actions. So it basically means he could only get out of one or the other next turn. Like
And
you
isn't
waking up from
getting
being
out
un-
of hold
Yep.
person like
yeah,
a
that's a
mental
full
action?
round. I mean, I think they both are basically, but they're both full round actions. If you read the
Yeah, it's a
thing
forward
there, it'd
action
say,
to
Oh, okay.
get out of hold person.
each round you can get out, but it's a full round action. It does not provoke. But the thing is that unconscious is the same thing. So basically, he'd have to choose one or the other to make a save on.
Instead, I'm going to take a move action and pull out my rope and a standard action and tie him up.
That'll probably work too.
If that's allowed, or at least I'll get started at tying him up.
You reach for your rope and you realize that it's gone.
This guy.
Okay, so that was my move action reach for my rope. So then standard action, I'll activate Vital Strike. And I'm not gonna knock him out, but I'm gonna punch him.
This is the moments where I'm really glad that I cast Secluded Grimoire every freaking day, all the time. All Secluded Grimoire, all time. Because otherwise I'm pretty sure I'd be like, Matt would be like, you look for your spell book and it's not there.
Oh, no.
I don't need to take your spell book to stop you.
Well, he's paralyzed, so maybe I do.
You're not a sorcerer. You do hit him.
He
And he's
has
made
the
fortitude.
robes of
I have,
spell components.
Yeah, I have the robe of spell components, which gives me eschew materials as a... So,
Right,
yeah.
up to gold level, yeah.
Up to more than issue materials.
Right. I think
It
it's
actually lets you
5
do up to
gold or something.
50 gold.
Yeah.
It's 50 gold.
That's
so,
pretty
yeah.
good, yeah.
Yep. It lets me cast my non-detection spell every day without having to spend
Oh, there you
50
go.
gold every day, which is pretty nice.
Wait, what?
Non-detection has a 50 gold component, material component
He
cost.
doesn't go unconscious.
She wasn't unconsciousing him.
Oh, I thought that was the knock.
Oh, no, I decided
She
not
said
to
she
knock
wasn't
him out.
knocking him out.
Because he's...
Okay.
Yeah, just Vital Strike punching him.
So you're just doing damage to him?
In his face, yeah. So when he comes out of it,
Okay.
he'll have like a bloody nose, and he knows I mean business.
Alright, he takes the damage. Around.
I'm just going to cast haste on everyone in case we need it. Just verbal and somatic. Since I have the material covered by my robe, even if he tried to take a material component pouch.
Well, if you look, then yes, like your spell component pouch is missing.
Right. I probably haven't even touched my material component pouch in ages, though, because I don't need it because of the robe. So I don't even know if I would have checked it. But the only thing I would have had in there maybe is the flask of acid that I'd pull out if I'm casting acid splash for the +1 damage.
Well, I
So
mean,
like
it
that.
has various miscellaneous, things for all of your spells. It's just generally assumed that the wizard,
Right. I'm just
or the
saying,
person of it
Araxi
just,
hasn't had to actually use the
takes these things.
hasn't had to actually use it because of the
Right.
robe of components. So, but yeah, like I was saying,
But
the acid
that
flask
is
might be in there. Yeah. Okay. It's pretty crafty that you managed to do that without being noticed, I guess. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna do haste, and that's all I do for this round.
We did kind of blindly trust him, though.
Not really, but
And like, how many people were like, I'm gonna use perception to make sure that he's not doing anything? We were more.
I was doing sense
I don't know.
motive, but
I feel like we just kind of trusted him.
I feel like
maybe you
Matt
did.
should have rolled our perceptions on the
He might
GM
have.
tracker.
I did.
Yeah,
you probably did. So
exactly.
It would have been a tip off if we knew, so.
plus he had us roll that perception check when we first got here, I think. So I mean,
Hold on a second. Roll20 is being slow.
Oh.
it was doing that to me
Restart it.
yesterday a little bit.
Just gonna refresh. But I do have actual dice here that I can roll in the meantime. He's going to try and whatchamacallit, get out of the hold person.
Paralyzation, yeah.
Yeah, because that's no fun. And that means that he is feeling like he is in peril. Oh, it's back.
Hooray!
Just gotta pull up his character sheet. Well, I mean, if you guys somehow deal with him in a way that you'll never see him again, I can tell you what my in-person group did with their dealings with
Yeah. Well, for now, this.
We'll see. I have a feeling that our solution might have just been killing this dude, but we'll see.
Well, I still don't think we can.
Nope, he's
have
still
to kill
help.
him. We can knock him out and then decide.
And then do the plane shift thing or whatever.
Okay,
Sure.
it's back to Natasha. It looks like he's still in this same position.
Just sort of.
He very visibly, he just twitches a little bit.
About the only thing I could really do would be to poison him, and I don't really want to do that.
No. You can assist me, like get melee to him and assist me.
Well, no, I've got poisons that would knock him out, but
We don't need to
like
waste a poison.
not like the purple worm poison. No.
Yeah, but I don't think we need to waste resources on this. You can if you want.
It only took me a week to make the damn oil of Taggart. Not doing that.
That's gonna be what'll happen. You'll have that shit at the end of the game and be like, man, nothing was ever worth using this on.
Well, when I get the chance to make more, then I'll use it more.
If you
Especially
feel
with
like
the
your
poison
character would
icy
do
lips.
something within good reason, then you feel free to do it.
Right.
I do like my players, talking with each other and like giving suggestions. But of course, like don't feel like you have to do everything that the group says, or don't feel
Well.
like you should just do things on your own. Like communicate, but play your character.
I like to hear
Valeria
what they
will
want,
say, "Pin
and then
him."
I do something else.
So yeah, I will definitely help.
Maybe you're
with
considering using the poison,
pinning.
but you might ask Safa in character. Well, why shouldn't I use my poison?
Well, no, it's like, should I? No, I don't want to waste it. I spent a week making this thing, and we don't want to hurt him or anything. So, no, I'll just help with the pinning, tentacle and all. We've seen enough hentai to know where this is going. Maybe instead of tentacle, it should have said hentai.
Let's not go there.
But yeah, no, I'm gonna help you pin and all that.
Okay, are you gonna roll just a grapple, or
Well,
I
let's
think you
see.
should roll to assist. To give me a bonus. I don't know
We
if
can
it's gonna
dogpile
be-
this guy.
Yeah. Well, if he can land a hit, he can grapple. Or I think
Yeah,
he could just assist
I'm thinking
He
me.
that
should be able to
because
land a hit.
I get a better.
That's true. It is paralyzed.
My grab is a lot better than my CMB, like a lot better. So yeah. What?
ouch for that? Unfortunately, does not hit him, even though he's health.
I'm gonna go cry in the corner now. You guys have fun.
You failed to
That's-
beat his Dexless AC -5.
Dang. Wait, what?
Yeah.
I
What
think
is
you
that
were
bonus?
one off.
Yeah,
I get
just-
+1 to my melee attacks.
Oh.
Like the tentacle
Okay.
gets +1.
Because it's a secondary attack?
Because it's a tentacle. I don't know. It's what Hero Lab's telling me.
He
Let's
doesn't
see.
have
Yeah.
it's
strength.
probably
Yeah, I
'cause
can't
and
even.
it's just a
I can't
melee
make it a
attack.
primary or
Yeah.
anything.
It's
And
probably
it's
because it's
not
only
magical
it only used as a secondary attack, which gives it a -5 compared to what it would otherwise be. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Let's see. Flat-footed, he is. Let's see, what is he? He's 15, and then because he has a little bit of armor because he's wearing something, and then -5 because he has 0 dex is just base 10 then, I think. So basically it's the armor that's stopping you from hitting him.
Yeah.
Blink.
Plus a little bit more.
I think even
Yeah.
hitting a square. I think technically even hitting a square is a 5. So I mean, when you roll a 4, it's like
I
The
missed
tentacle is just kind
You-
of wild and
you missed a
unwieldy.
square. You like randomly hit somewhere like
It
completely
it
the wrong
flops
direction.
around and stuff.
It's more
Yeah.
I'm not really used to using it because I try and
Right.
hide it because I get judged for it. So now that I'm trying to use it, it's like, hey, I can make some use of
I'm
that.
grappling him.
Okay, you beat a
I
CMD.
got another confession to make.
You are now grappling him.
Did you have the
Sop,
haste bonus in with your tentacle? That would have been a 5 then. Oh,
I
baby.
still think it wouldn't have hit. I don't have the haste
It,
bonus.
it, it
I'll
would have
put it
missed,
in
yeah.
now. Help me pin this guy.
Help me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope.
Soph was like, I don't need your help.
Well,
Pretty sure.
I mean, I joined the grapple for free. Then what do I get to do?
Pin him.
do you get to make 2 grapples per round?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think she only does when she's maintaining though.
Right.
Okay. So she spends her turn grappling him.
I
So
think
Arax-
so. Araxi she probably should help, but she's going to ready an
Well, I'll
action if he gets
pin.
out of the
I
grapple.
mean,
She's just gonna cast a spell on him. Yeah.
This turn secret is spent getting into the grapple. It's free, so you don't need to roll, but you need to wait till
Oh.
next turn to
oh.
do an action with the grapple.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm just gonna ready an action to throw a spell at this guy if he gets out of the grapple.
Okay. He's gonna try it as a full round action to will out of it. Yes or no?
No,
DC.
DC 18.
No.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
Lucky I
Nataka, it's
didn't
your turn
cast
again.
it. It would have been. I'd have probably fucking cast like a heightened level 4 version of it or something. Nataka! You could join the grapple for free, I think.
Yeah, I'll try and do that then.
Well, you do. It does not require a roll. You join the grapple for free.
Although,
This
Valyria.
color me curious.
I'm going to try to pin him. Oh, I need to maintain the
Wait,
grapple,
what?
don't I?
Yes.
Do I maintain the grapple?
You're getting a +5 from
Oh.
whatchamacallit, from he hasn't broken out. So that's a 13. And fortunately, he has no dex, so you maintain.
Okay, now I'm going to try to pin him.
Well, you pin with the maintain.
Right, you don't have to roll a
Oh, I
separate
do?
Yeah,
check.
you don't have to roll it.
Yeah.
Yep. Whenever
Oh,
you
whatever.
maintain it,
He's pinned.
you get to pick what you're doing with
Mhm.
by maintaining it.
So you don't put him on the
What?
floor, remember, it's just you've got him so good now in your grip, or at least for what you rolled, that he cannot do anything else physically but try to escape. And he's taking an additional
There we
penalty
go.
to AC.
There we go.
And,
Okay.
like, if I can, around, like, on Safa's turn, I'm going to, like, hand him over.
Well, she's got him too.
But
Okay, so
I
Sava.
mean, like,
I know
she
what you
can
mean.
pin him.
Oh, which it is my turn. So I'll pin, but I'm gonna also punch him. Can I? I can't vital strike when maintaining
No.
with a greater grapple, stuff like that. So okay. Get rid of this number here.
Vital Strike is an action all its own.
Okay. I'm going to put a -4 in here because I am going to do non-lethal punch. Or
Do
do
you
I
need
even
to do
take a
that?
minus? Do I even need to do that as a? I guess it
I
doesn't matter.
I thought as a
Go for
brawler
that,
with
but-
improved unarmed strike, you don't need to take a -4 to do non-lethal?
Gotcha. Probably not. Probably.
I think you just
You
choose.
just do.
Okay, we'll add 4 to that.
I think anybody who does unarmed strikes can do non-lethal with no penalty.
Yeah.
Like if it's unarmed strike.
Well, I
So
actually
you're
don't even
keeping
need
him in
to
the grapple
roll.
though, right?
Actually, I don't even need to roll. I'm gonna maintain and pin.
Okay. As long as you don't roll a 1 on the maintain, it's pretty much an auto success for you.
Let me
You
roll
have such a
that
high
first.
CM.
Okay, so that's the maintain, then
Right.
there's the pin, and then the
So
damage.
you do
for-
15 points of non-lethal to him,
Yeah. I did it in backwards.
and you pin. Okay, yeah. So I guess we'll say that Safa is in control of the grapple now.
No, it's just assisting. Well, everyone but me or Axie's like, I don't want to get on the ground with those guys.
Oh, well, we're not.
I mean, it's not on the ground technically,
but
yeah, I don't want to get in that dog pile and huddle up.
Cuddles?
Araxi?
I'll just continue doing what I was doing before. I'm gonna ready in action to cast a spell if he gets out.
Okay, he's gonna try. Nope. The talk.
I'm just gonna help keep him down.
Okay, roll a CMB.
Now that I fixed my CMB, that first CMB I rolled up there, the 6, should have been a 12. Because for some reason, even though it had the base attack in there, it wasn't adding it to the roll. Ooh, an 11. Yay.
Okay. Is that with the +5 factored in?
No, that's just hitting the button. So it's
Okay, you
16.
maintain the grapple then. Valeria?
I'm going to not keep grappling him, and I am going to look for my spell component pouch.
Okay.
Like, through his stuff.
You look through his stuff because he does have like a backpack and like a sack or something that he's got. And as a move action, it doesn't take much to find that yes, you do see your component pouch in his pack. As also with a piece of rope and another spell component pouch. And some other things.
I'll just empty that stuff out. Like, I'll just grab our stuff out as my standard.
Okay. Soft.
It's my turn.
I'm gonna do 2 things. Oops. Alright. Roll 20 and I almost had an argument. I am going to maintain the pin. And I'm going to punch him with non-lethal damage, but I'm also going to bite him. And if he truly is what he's supposed to be, then I should get my con.
If he actually is an elf.
Yeah.
If you really
9
are.
damage.
This is how Safa determines if people are shapeshifters. She's like.
Oh, I gotta
elf,
roll
at
my
least.
maintain. Hold on one second.
Are you a real elf?
Well, the attack is kind of like your roll anyway, so
We'll have
I'll
to
take
roll
the 4
twice,
plus your
technically.
26.
Yeah.
So you maintain for sure. You've got him.
Okay.
Pretty damn good. You do the non-lethal to him and the lethal, and you will get your bonus.
Nice.
He is an elf.
He is an elf.
He's
Or
just
a
a
demon.
weird
Thumbs
elf.
up.
No, I guess he could be a demon, I guess, too.
That's true. That is true. But you guys don't know that, because Safa doesn't know that yet, technically.
No, I don't really know what she's doing, and I feel really bad about it, but
You
I
oh, by the
gambled
way,
and my
when you
gamble failed.
drain
Oh.
his or when you do the con damage to him, um he like he's already like well he's paralyzed, but you can tell that he's tense. He suddenly loses that tenseness and
Uh,
his eyes
Oh.
like kind of like droop but don't close, and you could feel him kind of like go unconscious but still
oh,
paralyzed.
okay. You're
Okay.
paralyzed and unconscious now.
I lay
We
him
did
down
it.
gently as I wipe the blood off of my
He
lips.
whines like yeah. What do you guys do? We don't have to stay in combat at this.
Tie
He's
him
no
up.
longer able
I find my rope.
to resist or struggle. Okay.
Yeah. Get back my spell component pouch and anything else you might have taken.
Definitely tie him up and look around and make sure that we haven't like really disturbed
My,
attention.
I'm like, I may not use this thing
Attracted
these days,
attention.
but it still has fond memories of my spell component pouch.
Have we attracted attention?
Safa doesn't look like you have. I
Okay,
know it took a few rounds, but it doesn't look like you've aroused any suspicion.
good. Then
Maybe
yes,
this
I
sort
have.
of stuff isn't like. Maybe this stuff just kind of happens every now and then, and maybe someone turned a blind eye to
Just
it, or
kind of
maybe you guys really
happens.
didn't just get seen.
Maybe somebody saw it happening and was like, I don't want any part of that mess. Because these sorts of things probably if you try to go do anything about it, you probably tend to get involved, and getting involved is probably dangerous. Like, hey, what's going on here? We're beating you up now too. That's what's going
Right.
on here.
Yeah. This house gives no fucks. Why don't we just start our own house? Why didn't we do that?
We're starting a new noble house with blackjack and hookers.
Well, no.
What is this
That's not
suddenly
part
Kingmaker?
of the-
Is it Drowmaker?
Drawmaker. Let's do it.
We would get
Matriarch
more
maker?
assassinated
Housemaker.
than we did in
We're starting to learn
Riddleport.
a little.
There's actually I was reading about there's a third party. Somebody made a third party like kind of adventure path where you kind of have to do that. Like it's in the Underdark, and you kind of have to make like a little, like you basically play it as either there are two options with it. You're like you play it as either dwarves and you're making like a dwarven like mining settlement, or you play it as drow and you're making like a drow like I don't know colony kind of thing in the Underdark. But it never got finished. They only made the first two books, so I don't know. I was just looking at it. It's interesting. There's actually like a few third-party adventure paths. Like one of them is supposedly really good, but it's an evil game or something.
Valeria rubs her temples and she says, "What do I do with him now?"
Send him where you
Well,
said you were gonna
Valeria,
send him.
if you'd like, I'm sure that the rest of us could handle it.
No, no, no.
Or actually assumed probably that was a little too obvious to have actually convinced you, but yeah, at least giving you the option to pretend to be naive. Be like, oh sure, I'm sure he'll be just fine, right?
Huh.
You could potentially still plane shift him. It's just you're not going to be able to get him to break his spell resistance.
Does he have it up? Is it a conscious thing or an unconscious thing? I don't
It's an
know.
unconscious thing.
It's an unconscious thing. You have to
Unconscious
consciously
thing,
suppress
okay.
it. Um, I mean, it's too bad for you that you don't have a spell that I have that would allow you to break through it. Is plane shift even? Yes, it is spell resistance. Yes, even though it's conjuration, it's teleportation. It's not a creations. Creation's the one usually that doesn't. Yeah, no, there's a spell called I don't know if I have it. I don't have it prepared right now, but I could, throw my spell book back out. But there's a spell called Sure Casting, and it makes it so that the next spell you cast, it's a level 1 spell, and it says the next spell you cast, you treat your cast level as 5 higher than normal for the purpose of overcoming spell resistance. It's actually also a really good spell to prepare a quickened version of to make sure your spell gets through spell resistance as well. It's a really good spell. I just haven't used it ever because most of my conjuration shit that I've been throwing around in combat doesn't need it.
That actually is on the cleric spell list.
No, well, you just needed to have it prepared then.
Do I have spell slots open?
For
I
level
do
1
have
spell?
level 1 spell slots open.
So you can take the time to do that then, and that'll help greatly increase your chances to just break right through it. Even then, he still gets a will save though. Although I'm not sure if he gets that while unconscious. I think he still does.
He does technically, and I find that there's a better argument for getting the will save unconscious than like a reflex save unconscious.
Right.
What? You don't think twitching
Typically, I
nerves
home roll
can't,
that.
dodge arrows?
It's
If you're unconscious, there's a slight chance that you somehow dodge like an engulfing dragon's breath.
Well, it also could just be that the dragon's breath was on the mere edge of it, and he didn't dodge at all. It was just that the breath didn't quite. You can look at it the other way around, I guess.
So I'm going to take the 15 minutes it takes to prepare this.
Are you gonna do it where you
Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I am just going to hope that it works. I am... Let's see. I don't want this guy to be
does have a dex of 0. So most people that are unconscious have really low reflex anyway.
And I want him to not come back immediately. So I... Araxi, do you have something to write on?
Sure, I'll pull out
put a sticky note on him like "Do not kill," does not know where he is.
I pull out one of my journal I've been writing in, and I, rip a page out and hand it over. Or ask you if you want me to write something in there, I guess.
So I'm going to write some things in Elven.
Do you have a pen
addressed at him, telling him how to not die.
Because this is Araxi's book. Normally, the page you have to sew the words into it. It's a underwater journal.
I am going to.
So you want me to
also
have Araxi write
say
for you,
in
then,
Celestial why is he here, and that please don't kill him. And then I am going to try to plane shift him.
Okay, give me the rolls. Caster level, just for spell penetration. Okay, that does
That's
it. Now I need to roll his will save. What's the DC?
21. Holy shit!
That's a really high roll.
He finally rolled good. Alright, to your dismay, he kind of looks like he fades out for a minute, but he stays there.
His desire to stay in House Fanark's too strong. Man, he must be such a loyal servant.
But he's still unconscious.
Yeah.
Well, let's body bag him.
What? We're done with him?
No, he's still
No,
alive.
I'm taking him back to our room in my body bag.
We're just putting an
That's
unconscious
gross,
dude in a body
Valeria.
bag. I like that. Someone's like, I totally will fucking drink the blood out of elves, but putting them one in a body bag, that's too much, man. I don't.
Taking them to your room is too much.
Oh yeah, no. That's actually kind of funny. I could imagine Saba thinking like, ugh, what the.
She's embraced
you realize
the drow.
you realize that's an elf, right? Gross.
Oh my god.
And we're gonna make sure that he's gagged and bound.
Well, I tied him up,
Aw,
so
poor guy.
you can gag him.
So we're
if
just
you
gonna have
want.
this prisoner. We're just gonna have this prisoner then for a little while.
Guess.
Okay. We go back to Drow Motel 6, I guess.
With another body.
You do.
Valeria seems to be coming into the hotel a lot with bodies. Body bags. Or bags.
I'm a well-known
Who knows what's in
necrophiliac,
them.
what can I say?
Starting to become.
If anyone asks, it's laundry. We run a laundry service.
In the hotel. Isn't that
Well,
illegal?
we just came from out of town. We're still setting things up. We're waiting for the proper business permits to go through. And we're
If like
waiting
the
for
arm
our
flops out of
lease.
the bag and you're going with the laundry like ruse, then your reply should just be, "We are a thorough washing service."
Thorough.
Yeah.
Our clients pay us to wash them. Secretly.
So the things
So they
that
don't know who did
Valeria
it.
is rusing to be a necrophiliac, an assassin. This place is bad for my mental health.
Yes. Poor Valeria. Maybe she'll become Asha.
Not as much as
Or like Asha.
Araxi.
Yeah, it's been much worse for me. I feel like.
I'm kind of okay down
But that's just
here.
mostly because Araxi's got much lower saves across the board. I mean,
Sava's gotten a few compliments.
Yeah, Sava's been like, I don't mind this place at all.
Well, the rules are different down here, you know, so it's like, yeah.
Yeah, but they're actually, in some ways, the rules are probably better for Sava. Like, Sava probably likes some of the rules here a little better than normal. She probably didn't like all the fact that there's all these elves all over the place.
No.
So then again, maybe she kind of likes these elves better than normal elves.
No, they smell.
Alright, well,
Maybe not,
you
maybe she
take
hates
the
these elves
unconscious
Just as
Godok
much, they're
back
just
to
awful as normal elves.
your room. What do you guys do?
I don't know.
Well, are we gonna wake this guy up and, like, talk to him some more?
Oh, wait, that reminds me.
Oh, yeah.
On the way back to your place, and that night, you start experiencing this really bad stomach pain.
Uh-oh.
You have this, like, uncontrollable urge to, like, vomit, and when you do, like, what you, like, spit up is, like, highly acidic. Not enough to, like, burn, like, whatever you're, like, vomiting onto, but, like, when it comes up, it feels like just, like, a fire in your throat.
Ow. What did I drink
And
last?
you are permanently staggered until you make this, until you cure from this.
Oh, okay, so rolling
That's-
fortitude did nothing.
Yep, each day.
Sounds like you just need to get cure disease. Which... I mean, that's the thing too. Now that the effects are obvious, we'll probably be able to tell pretty quickly. Like,
So,
something's
Does
wrong
like,
with Soph.
anybody see
daily
this happen
and
to me?
frequently, you have these, like, intense stomach cramps, and then, like, you feel like it coming up every now and then.
So
Safa,
this
do
would
you
probably
do you
be.
tell
I don't
Is this happen
tell
like?
Larry
anybody,
about this or
but if you
anybody
guys
about
see
this?
it, I don't know.
Well, we probably. That's the thing. Okay, so
Once you get
You'll
back to
notice I'm
your respective
staggered for
rooms is when it
sure.
happens.
yeah. So I mean, the next time we see her, we'll be able to tell because she'll be staggered as well too. She won't be moving as fast.
But I'm
So like, I
probably
don't think
like
Sopha's gonna be able to hide
too
it.
tough to like tell anybody about it, you know? Just like it's nothing. It's nothing.
I mean, yeah, you can roll a skill check or whatever. The heal check probably somebody. It probably is not a very hard DC to be like, yeah, she's definitely sick. But yeah, I mean, shortly after we get back, maybe Araxi goes back to her room uh, before she goes and to Valeria's room and sees what the plan is moving forward. Um,
So I guess if Safa tells you guys that night, then you know something's up with Safa, but what do you do for that?
well, that's what I'm saying. I'd go back to my room for a little bit, and then like later on, I'd go talk to Valeria, like and see, like check on how Gaddock's doing, and
I want to see what's in his bags. What tools does he have?
Okay.
does he have like ledgers? Anyway, I'll be right back in 1 second. While Valeria's
I'll
doing
tell
that.
you what he has in his person. On his person, he's wearing a he's wearing studded leather. He has a masterwork dagger, a hand crossbow, and a quiver of bolts. 73 gold pieces. What looks like a wand. 6 vials of like black inky stuff. And parchment that looks like a scroll.
I'm gonna read Magic the Scroll.
Okay.
Alright, I'm back.
It is a scroll of honeyed tongue.
And I am going to do the detect magic spellcrafty thing on the wand. I think it's invisibility.
Yes, you know that this is a wand of invisibility with 13 charges left.
It really makes me curious. He must have known he was being followed when he turned invisible and you followed him before, right? At the same time, you didn't detect him, like... I wonder if he just turned invisible and was, like, watching to see if somebody was actually following him.
Or he might have done some secret deal, I don't know. Taking the wand of invisibility away from him, because
Okay.
that's dangerous. He can keep the honey tongue?
And do you do anything else that night?
We we need to keep watch over him. Make sure he doesn't escape. Because he's a super liability.
I guess we'll go see though if we end up getting contacted from what's her name when he doesn't show up.
If you want, I can stay up the whole night and watch, and just be a little tired in the morning.
You already look like shit though.
No, I don't.
Speaking of that, you look like crap.
You look like crap.
Dang.
Do I have
Does
any
anybody
idea
in
what's
this-
going on with her?
I don't think anybody in this party actually has ranks in heal, do they?
I'll put a rank in heal
I
next
do.
level.
I have 9 ranks in heal.
Oh, okay. Well then, I guess actually, surprisingly enough, Nataka probably actually is the best person at identifying when if somebody's sick.
Yeah, let me. It's plus 13, but
You rolled a 3. That's still higher than anybody
Yeah.
else probably would roll. Unless I roll a naturally high. Nope.
you rolled unnaturally low.
You guys are trying to
Yeah.
heal to do what?
Just identify
See what's wrong with her.
what's wrong with Safa.
You guys know that she looks sick, but you're not exactly sure what it is.
I'm going to
But she
assume
looks
it's
like
a
she's sick.
disease.
Alright. Oh.
And I'm going to prepare a spell to remove it.
Oh.
What?
I think I know what this is.
Like what disease it is?
Well, no, you don't, because the game master didn't tell you what it is. But
I'm preparing repel vermin as remove disease.
Wait, what?
I
You can do
it's
that?
just I don't have any level 3 spell slots and it's a level 4.
Ah, okay.
So I think I need to make a caster level check for this.
I think that's how it works.
I don't know.
'Cause I remember.
The two are different. Like the poison and the disease one are different.
Yeah, they're both caster level checks, though.
One of them
I think that
removes
is
and the other
cure
just gives a
disease.
bonus.
Remove disease will cure a disease if you meet the DC.
Yeah, the neutralize poison just neutralizes it.
And that's poison, not a disease. So you
Right,
gotta
the
be
poison one. The
sure of
poison
which
one's the one though. Yeah, the poison one's the one that doesn't get rid of the poison.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you make a caster level check, so that is the roll, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the 27 is pretty good. And Safa, you feel like the uneasiness like leave in waves. Like you suddenly don't feel like your like vomit or whatever is like so acidic, and then you stop feeling the urge to vomit and the cramps slowly go away and you feel better.
Okay, before that happens though, as like Valeria's touching Safa, she's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" and like trying to like shove her away.
Don't make me hold person, you.
Obviously, you have to touch me, so no matter what, it's gonna happen. But yeah.
But yeah. Now how do you feel? Now that I've touched you?
Oh my. She needs an adult?
I mean, I was fine before. Just had a bad drink.
Yeah, about
I won't
that.
tell you exactly what it was, but Safa had a less extreme version of dysentery. It has a unique name, though.
Huh.
Yay!
Hooray.
She's gonna remain
Yep,
stubborn.
it was a disease that got into
So,
your wounds.
so we're gonna. So yeah, we're just gonna. Are we gonna like what? Try to plane shift him again tomorrow? Is that the plan? Also, do we
That's my
want
plan.
Do you want to wait to see if? Are you gonna wait to see if Escrival contacts you, or are you gonna try to contact her?
I suppose I could contact her,
Gonna do that
but
after
she'll
the deed
already
is
know.
done.
Well, he's already not gonna be showing up for dinner tonight.
Yes, but
Mm-hmm.
we could flub this up.
Is there enough space in our room that I can stand more than 10 feet away from him and watch him?
More than 10 feet?
Shove him in one
Yeah,
corner
a
and
little.
I hide in the other corner?
You want to hide from him?
No! I want to hide from scrying!
Ah, I get what you're saying.
I mean,
That's why I need to
I,
get the
I, I,
non-detection
I don't know
spell.
about that, but you can get far enough away from him. It's just like you're gonna be in a weird kind of spot, like in your own
There's
corner.
all kinds of different type of scrying anyways, so, you know, whatever. Shove
I'm
them to the
sure.
corner. Shove yourself to the other corner. Should be okay, maybe. Who knows?
So yeah, we should... maybe I'll just, prepare... I'll definitely prepare Lester Restoration, and Safa can watch him.
Sure.
Yeah, I could probably go buy a scroll of non-detection and like learn, or not non-detection, anti-scrying, but it would cost a lot of money. Like I'm looking at 700 gold at least. So I can actually afford right now since I did that thing.
Okay. So you
So
guys
I
are
guess that's a
resting now?
question. I'm gonna before we rest, I'm gonna ask if like thoughts on if it would be worth if they think if people think it would be worth it for me to go spend a lot of money on getting a anti-scrying spell. Considering we've been using scrying a lot.
I don't know anything about this stuff.
Like Valyria, you seem
What
really
would it
concerned
do?
about scrying. I can get a spell of anti-scrying, and it would allow me to notice any scrying attempts that happen nearby me. Detect scrying, rather.
Perhaps.
I'd be able to detect anything in my immediate area that's if somebody's attempting to scry on me. I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm just gonna. I've convinced myself. So that's the last thing I'm gonna do for the day. Is I'm gonna go out into Vesia and try to find some like a magic shop or whatever somebody's selling that sells scrolls and find a scroll, a level 4 spell, detect scrying.
Okay. You'll be able to do that.
Okay. And then I'll attempt to add it to my spellbook, which I think is an auto success anyway, right now, but what is it, 15 plus spell level to add it to your spellbook or something?
I believe so. So yes, you succeed.
Okay. Um, technically has a duration of 24 hours, so I could even, before I sleep, I actually could cast it now. So I will. It lasts 24 hours, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna swap out my. I'm gonna pull my spellbook out of the astral plane at night, like before I go to bed, and change out my own scrying spell for detect scrying instead. And I'm gonna cast detect scrying. Let me double check this. Does it have a material component cost? No, it just has a material component. Okay, cool. So yeah, for 24 hours, I immediately become aware of any attempt to observe me by means of divination. Um, and I
Okay.
know the location or magical sensor within the spell's area. The spell's area is a 40-foot radius around me, so I can notice if somebody's scrying on somebody nearby me. Probably nobody tonight because I'm in my own room, but yeah, let's see. Scrying attempt originates within the area, also knows location. Otherwise, I have to make an opposed cast level check. And if I do, I actually can see them. But I think I know about them scrying, even if I don't know who is scrying. Granted, when I have non-detection up, then then that gives me bonuses as well. But anyway, so I do that. It lasts 24 hours, so just be aware of that, I guess. And then I'll
All right.
send my book back to the astral plane before I go to sleep. Cast another copy of Secluded Grimoire, level 1 spell. Anyway, that's it. That's all I do for the day, though.
Okay. So everybody sleeps then?
Sleep is good.
Except for Safa, who I'm lesser restorationing.
Okay. Um, then everybody rests. Safa, you stay up and you keep watch over the prisoner, basically the captain. And he wakes up. Okay, yeah, it's a good idea. You notice him waking up, like before people would usually start getting up, and he like groans and struggles a little bit against his bonds.
I think we have him gagged as well, Valeria said.
Mm-hmm.
Then I will knock him out. Or, wait. That doesn't, like, keep them knocked out. They can get out of that.
I mean, it'll knock him out for a little bit.
Yeah, just not sure I want to use it over other options. Okay, well, I get up and I, like, examine him and not, like, really getting close, but, like, stepping from side to the other side to see his hands and make sure he's not, like, actually getting out of the rope, because I'm sure he's trying to escape right now.
Okay. Well, you walk around him and he notices you, and when you become noticeable, he stops moving considerably. Um, he just kind of lays there,
Okay, and then I knock him
and
out.
he looks up at you.
That's right.
Okay.
As far as he knows, Safa can't talk. I think, right?
I don't know how long
No,
the
she
share
talked to
language
him.
works, but yeah,
Oh,
I
you did
have
talk to
spoken
him. That's
to
right.
him.
I remember early on we said you couldn't.
Well,
24
somebody
hours.
said I couldn't.
Okay.
Um,
You do non-lethal, I'm assuming.
Yeah, non-lethal, and then if he doesn't like pass out from that,
Oh, he passes out.
okay. Does it look like he's? I didn't kill him, right? Because I know that's a possibility. It is possible to kill people with non-lethal people.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
but no, it doesn't look like he knocked him out.
Okay.
It looks like he recovered from the non-lethal overnight, and then you put him back into that ring.
Added some bruises. I like it. Okay. Then I will sit back down and keep watch.
Everybody wakes up then.
Okay, I do my normal morning prep of casting, like, all the shit, Finn's Defeat and whatnot. All my
Um,
my spell tax, basically, to operate in Zernikine.
yeah,
Yep.
I'm gonna start
Thank you.
getting things ready too. Wondering, I want to get started on a new brew potion, or I guess
All
brew
right.
poison, craft alchemy. Same thing. Just I want to make more oil of Taggart.
And I'll have Detect Scrying prepared, I think, or I'll just leave the slot open, but I'll probably prepare it and cast it again later today. Well, actually, I'm going to send my book back to the other plane. I might as well just have it. I might as well just throw it out. I can always swap it out in the arcane pool point. So I'll have it prepared, and then I'll send my book to the astral plane. Secluded grimoire.
Well, as you guys do your daily rituals and stuff, it's only been a little bit since it's been like maybe an hour or two since Safa you knocked him out again. He starts coming, back into consciousness.
It's fine. It's their problem.
Valeria, you're up now. It's your problem now.
I mean, I keep my
Yep.
eyes on them because they're all like doing their nom 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 things. But as soon as I notice them dumb, I'm like, he's probably
For
gonna get out
no
of his
sleep,
bounds.
is Safa exhausted or just
Fatigue.
fatigue?
Should be just fatigue. Well, ah,
I think it is fatigued.
yeah.
Well, you're no longer fatigued. I prepared two of them just in case.
Well, this is while you guys were preparing. He's waking up, so I think you need to finish
Oh, okay.
preparing.
So I
Alright.
guess the process. This will take me about 4 days to make this one, according to
Okay.
my roll.
So you'll be working on that during the times where we're just sitting around not doing anything.
Yep.
That's like why. That's probably the main thing to take crafting feats. Gives you something to do during all that downtime. Like even if you don't have downtime in terms of like days where you're not doing
Yeah.
stuff.
This is an AP that's
Every
fairly friendly with like crafting.
yeah, and like almost every game has like stuff like situations where you do shit like fight one encounter and be like, oh, we used all of our spells. Time to sit around in the rune forge for no reason for like 20 hours. Like if we had crafting more ability to do crafting in there, that would have been like the perfect time.
We did.
I know we didn't really use it much for crafting as much as we could have. We did
Yep.
a lot of like spellbook stuff there,
You did a
but
lot of reading. That's for sure.
yeah.
So now that we're up and he's up, I am going to tell him again what I am going to do, and that he should lower his spell resist and accept this willingly.
He he makes sounds like he wants to speak, but he cannot as he is gagged.
Yeah, I'd come and join them after I finish doing all my prep work stuff. So
I'm still doing my prep work stuff.
And I assure him that he will be safe. Okay. Let's try this for a second time. I have 2 of these prepared today. Unless anybody has any objections, I'm doing this.
What are you doing, the plane shift?
Hmm.
No, I mean, unless we want to hear him out first, but...
I kind of do, but I also kind of don't trust him with a 10-foot pole, and I think he's going to start screaming at the top of his lungs as soon as we ungag him.
Okay.
Oh man. Maybe.
Does that get through his spell resist?
It does.
Have him go ahead and roll the DC 21.
Alright, here we go. How willful is he?
Not willful
It
enough.
wasn't a bad roll, but yeah, not enough, unfortunately.
And
See.
I will try to get him as close as possible to a place that I worked there. So, can you do multiplication on this?
What?
I guess I could just do
Oh,
Yes.
5d100.
Yes, you can. You can do all kinds of
Yeah.
math with it. Just put it in the brackets and then put
He
a math
ends up
code.
295 miles away.
I guess where are you sending him?
Nirvana.
Where on Nirvana?
To where I've been.
This is where
Where
you
is that?
worked.
Yeah, or I studied under some of the lesser denizens of Shaylin.
Like, at some point you lived on
Okay.
Nirvana?
Well, then
That's what I
you
did
see his form
before
kind
becoming
of
head
like
cleric of
fade, and then like shimmer, and then vanish.
Well, I want... That actually is almost as interesting a story as, like, what we're doing right now, is just what this guy's gonna do on frickin' Nirvana. I mean, he might just die. But like I'm kind of it kind of could be like a pretty fun little side adventure.
For that guy? Yeah.
Yeah, for that guy.
Well, I think within within the boundaries of this AP, you're never gonna see him again.
No, probably not. But
Oh well.
I like to imagine. I like to imagine that it could be a really interesting story.
You
I
you
mean,
dealt with
we
him
can go
much
get
differently
him.
than my real life part.
That's true. We could go find him later if we feel bad. Like maybe Valyria feels bad about this later and is like, okay, well,
She
I
really
That
does.
that requires you
yeah,
trying to find him on a different plane of existence.
right. I mean, it's doable. It's hard, but you can scry for someone on another plane, right?
Locate
It's
his
just
outfit.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't change it.
I'll do it when I have the ability to. Whatever those spiders had, where it can locate things to the end of the earth?
Yeah, discern location.
Yeah, that one. I'll do it when I have that.
Well, that's an 8th level spell.
Yeah, I need to be like level 15.
when we get to the last book, we'll be like, hey, I know we have a lot of shit going on right now, but let's spend a day to go rescue Gadok if he's still alive. I don't know. It could be really cool. Like you could go back and you'd be like, yeah, man, I became I'm a new elf man, a new elf drow. I'm like now I'm chaotic good now, he's like, who knows? Either that, he's more angry than ever to see us. Like, I'll fucking kill you. You know how
Or a
terrible it's been
Hound
here.
Archon, or some
Yeah, he's.
Agathion just tells you, yeah, we killed that dude.
Yeah, I mean that's just as likely too, but
Yeah, he's dead.
he
I
dead.
hope not.
You're hoping that
That guy was
he
a tool.
redeems.
The tool.
I am curious what the other group did. I don't know if you can tell us yet though.
Yeah, I can tell you without spoiling anything. So they were in House of Anarch for a while. They took his offer, and they caught him looking through their things and stuff at some point. So what they did was, because one particular member of the group is a very underhanded character, he's a rogue, uh, who had at that point gotten enough levels into Wizard to Prestige into Arcane Trickster. So what they did was when they found him trying to like find out more about them, then the rogue convinced him to like go with him somewhere, and then he murdered him and had someone else, another member of the party, put a little like rock on his body somewhere and told him to just like put the rock on him and then walk away. And the next morning, when people at House Van Ark found Godok, he was underneath a giant boulder because their rogue arcane trickster had used shrink item on a boulder, and that's what they. So it looked like something had just fallen on him
Wow, that's kind of cool though.
mysteriously.
Yeah,
So
That's
they
epic.
basically they murdered him and covered it up.
yeah.
Murdered him and covered him up with a rock.
It was really
Like
funny
how
too because like there weren't like any like rocks or anything by where it happened, so it's a very like strange giant boulder that has crushed like a drow body.
right, like it's super obvious that it's probably super
It's
obvious that somebody murdered
comically
him.
obvious,
Yeah, yeah. But
but
that actually sounds like a drow thing to do to like send a message. Like, oh yeah, no, he wasn't murdered.
yeah. But anyway, um, oh, I'm not sure if I should give you XP for this. Maybe I should. Um,
Up to you.
I'll give you. I'll give you his CR and experience. His CR is a little high for what he can do in combat, but he's not a combat character.
Right. He's probably normally, if you do take up his offer and join, he's like probably the guy who risks exposing you guys as servicers, and then we totally were just like, yeah, we're totally just told him we're servicers. We're pretty good at this game.
We like to make things
So everybody gets
complicated.
1600.
And we spent a lot of money for no reasons.
I didn't. I refused.
Well, I spent a bunch of money on Detect Strine, which I think is probably a good investment. Even if it's not going to pay off now, at some point, it'll probably pay off.
Sure.
Ugh, that took a lot out of me. I really didn't want to do that.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think the rest of us would have been fine just killing him.
Yeah, I wanted to put a bomb in his mouth so bad. Just sat there.
Araxi's
No!
kind of a little bit
I
glad.
want to do it.
Araxi's a little bit glad that we didn't kill him, actually, but at the same time, it wouldn't have bothered her any. Yeah.
So,
So
do we want to end the session here?
Yeah.
I think I'm okay with that.
Well, I've
Okay.
got to be up at 5 in the morning.
What
Or I
do
have
you
to be at
guys
work by
want
5
to
in the morning.
do, or what direction are you guys going to go so I know what to prepare for next session?
I would just start blowing everything up. But that's just me.
Well, I mean, I figure we're probably gonna go see how Estrovala handles what we did. Like, does she know that
Okay.
we just sent him away? Like, we'll have to figure it out how that goes. But assuming that she, you know, finds the result satisfactory, we'll probably contact her with sending and see if she has something else she wants us to do because she's our only lead right now for getting the information we want.
Okay. And I remember the deal being that if you took care of Gadak, that she was going to get you, like, a very minor half of something that you wanted. Just so that I know what is it.
Well, we were asking for how information about House Azrene.
Hmm.
So I don't know if
She
we
was going
told
to
her.
get us information on what are they doing, and after we
Where they
finished
went.
her second thing, it was where they went to. It was those were the two halves.
Okay, I remember that now. Then I have an idea of what to prepare for next session.
Alright, cool.